Hey, Kyle's Wonderful here again with another wrestling review. This time it's NXT Level Up from September 2nd, 2022. So another huge night for all the lower level recruits of the NXT Performance Center, with NXT UK coming in and taking a bunch of the spots that were just about to open up. When a lot of people are about to get called up to the main roster, those Performance Center recruits were thinking those spots were going to open, but they're now filled by NXT UK recruits that were the lucky few to not get released once NXT UK folded. It's gone forever. So that's interesting. And all the Performance Center recruits here in NXT really need to start impressing, or their spots are going to be gone and they're going to get passed up real quick. So let's get right into the action. We've got 3 matches as usual tonight. And the first person out is Duke Hudson, who is not a new recruit at all. He's been wrestling in the house shows from NXT for years and years, all the way before the pandemic. So Duke Hudson pretty much has more to prove than anyone else we might see tonight, because Duke seems to have been demoted from to Level Up from national TV on NXT 2.0. Duke Hudson has basically lost every match in recent memory on TV. And the only thing is that it's weird because Duke Hudson's a good wrestler with a lot of charisma, got a good theme song, which we never hear because when he does have TV matches, he doesn't get an entrance and then he loses. Even though he's a good looking guy at 6'5", I think his wrestling's fine. So I wonder why he's just not clicking or getting a bigger push or what's going on. Anyway, he's got a lot to prove, and he'll be up against Myles Borne, who comes out next. Myles Borne is a rookie with less than 10 matches in his career, but Myles Borne does have a 17 years of folk-style wrestling experience. And he's also legally deaf. I don't know if he can hear a little bit or not at all, but that's definitely something to keep in mind when you watch Myles Borne wrestle, is that he can't hear. So Duke then hits a scoop slam right away. He's got the big size advantage and a massive experience advantage in this match. So Duke Hudson hits a scoop slam, but then gets cocky right away. That allows Myles to get a nice amateur style takedown. Duke then hits a shoulder tackle and a scoop slam to take back control. Duke applies a standing arm bar, but Myles uses his technique to get out of this and to hit 2 more takedowns before applying a standing arm bar of his own. Great stuff from Myles Borne. Duke Hudson then tries to power up, but Myles gets another takedown. Good stuff. And this from Myles Borne is just starting out his pro wrestling journey. So Myles Borne then gets another takedown and a roll up for a 2 count. Myles tries a backslide, but that was a mistake. Duke Hudson much too strong for that. Duke now hits a slam that's assisted by the ropes, and Duke hits a huge chop that has Myles Borne screaming in pain. Duke gets right into the rookie's face now, hits a big body punch, followed by another loud chop. So welcome to pro wrestling, Mr. Myles Borne. You won't see that happen in folk style wrestling. So the crowd's now chanting, "You still suck," at Duke Hudson, which was pretty funny. Myles then counters the next attack with a back elbow. Myles tries 2 shoulder tackles and 2 drop kicks, but none of them knocked Duke Hudson down. So Myles then hits 2 fireman takeovers and a suplex. That worked a lot better. Myles now takes the straps down, and I don't know what he was going to hit because the next move was blocked by Duke Hudson. Duke then sets Myles Borne up on the top rope, but Myles knocks Duke off of him. Maybe it was going to be a superplex or something. Myles now hits a diving crossbody, getting a 2 count, almost winning the match against the veteran Duke Hudson. Good stuff so far, but Duke just gets up, hits a big boot mafia kick right to the face for the 1-2-3. The winner of this match by pinfall, Duke Hudson. So, wow, that was a really good match for Level Up standards. Duke does a great job to show that he really did prove that he's valuable as a big man veteran to work with the rookies, because that was awesome. Myles Borne would never have had this good of a match if he wasn't in there with someone that was such a veteran like Duke Hudson. So that's exactly why he's on the roster, and I believe he should be getting featured more. He's got a great look. I love his chemistry. His promos are good, and his theme song's amazing. He's got almost the full package. What's going on? So maybe I don't even know. Maybe his wrestling's not as good as I give him credit for. Maybe I'm blinded by his charisma. I'm not sure. But I thought his match was fine, and this is by far the best match of the night. And Myles Borne's only had like 7 matches in his career, so you throw down the best match of the night, and it's against someone with 7 matches in their career. That tells you he is a good wrestler. So what the heck's going on? Hopefully, Duke Hudson can get on national TV more and all the way up to the main roster. I think he should be on the main roster for sure. So in the back now, since thank goodness for about 2 months straight now, we always get a promo segment, because not only is level up should be about working on your character, your entrance, your move set, taking bumps, and your promos. So I love that. Every week we get a different promo from whoever's going to be in the main event. And this time it's Dante Chen, who we have not heard from in months. It's been months since we heard Dante Chen. He used to be on TV, featured more often. He was demoted back to Level Up for months on end now. So Dante Chen says, when you look at someone like Xyon Quinn, it can be intimidating. He's a former rugby player and he's strong as an ox, but he doesn't have the people supporting him. I'm from Singapore and I have millions of people rooting for me. Tonight, when I win, the celebrations will go until the morning. And the good promo here from Dante Chen, like I said, we haven't heard him speak a word in months. And ever since Dante Chen was on NXT 2.0 TV, losing his feud of all people to Xyon Quinn, who he'll take on in the main event tonight. Dante's going to get a chance at revenge tonight, while Xyon Quinn has been struggling with a huge losing streak lately. Meanwhile, Dante Chen's been picking up a lot of wins on Level Up over the last couple months and is coming into this match with a ton of confidence. That should be a good main event. But before we get there, we've got a match in the women's division, a loaded NXT women's division, where there's a bunch of people, so you really need to try and stand out and prove that you keep improving. So anyway, Ariana Grace comes out first. She is Santino Marella's daughter, a former beauty pageant contestant who's also using that as her wrestling character, but it's a fake front, because actually Ariana Grace is a mean, nasty person. So I like that character. She feels like she has a fake character that she uses for the beauty pageant type stuff, and then really she's just a mean person. So good stuff there. We get another big news here, because huge return after months and months of being gone. Erica Xyon finally comes back. So it's been a long time. Erica Xyon has been on NXT for a few years now and definitely has a lot to prove as well. So I might have lied earlier when I said Duke Hudson might have been the person we see tonight with the most to prove. It might actually be Erica Xyon. Who's been here for also not as long as Duke Hudson, who's been here for like 3 or 4 years, just on the lower level. You never saw him on TV, but he has been working back when NXT had those house shows before the pandemic. He was on those for over a year. So Erica Xyon has a lot to prove. She's been here for a while. She doesn't get very many matches. And Erica Xyon does show right away that she has a bunch of character. Erica's mocking Grace and showing some fun style sides of her character here. Grace is able to take control and hits a nice Meteora for a 2 count, almost like a Luthez press type deal as well. So Grace then hits a funny looking elbow drop. It was kind of her version of the people's elbow. That was awesome. I loved it. I laughed out loud. So Erica Xyon now gets a pin attempt, but Grace stays in control right after that, hitting a big knee strike to the gut. Erica Xyon tries another pin attempt, but Grace kicks out and applies a chin lock this time. Grace transitions it into an arm lock while taking free shots to the body and grinding. Grace is grinding her elbow into the ribs. Some great William Regal, Fit Finley type stuff there. Love it. Love to see it. Great stuff from Ariana Grace. Then she slams Erica Xyon down for a 2 count. Grace then goes back to the same exact hold, and it is applied. Xyon is struggling with the power and size advantage that Ariana Grace has. Erica Xyon tries another pin attempt for a 2 count. So what the heck? Does Erica Xyon know any moves? Erica Xyon now gets her big flurry of the match. It's a couple axe handles and a Manhattan drop. Xyon then hits her finisher. It's a flatliner, but she was too beat up to make the cover in time. So Grace then trips Xyon, drop toe hold into the turnbuckle. That has Xyon dazed. Ariana Grace now hits the world's strongest slam, getting the 1, 2, 3. The winner of this match by pinfall, Ariana Grace. So, wow, Xyon hit a Manhattan drop and a flatliner, and she showed good chemistry, but man, after years in NXT, Erica Xyon does not know how to wrestle. And it's unfortunate, but it might be time to let her go. I'm never one to actively root for people to get released. I'm just pointing out facts, people. There are about 35 women ahead of Erica Xyon on the NXT roster alone. That doesn't even include all the women on the main roster. So if Erica Xyon cannot wrestle, let her go try elsewhere, because this is not working clearly. Just Erica Xyon shows up every after months and months of being gone, has a match and then leaves for months. I don't know why. Probably because she's not good at wrestling. And then they try and train her up some more. She has another match and it sucks again. So then they try and train her up. I get that's how it works, but it's been over a year, maybe 2 years. Xyon is not improved. She can't wrestle. And there's about 35 women ahead of her on the NXT roster. So it might be time to have her try elsewhere. You could always get hired back if you prove after a year or two that you get better. And I'm it's not going to work out. It's just not going to work out. So anyway, Ariana Grace looks solid again. She keeps improving match after match, and that's definitely all you need to do. But Ariana Grace probably has about 20 women ahead of her on the roster. So as long as she just keeps showing improvement, nothing much is going to be asked of her yet, and she will be given time, especially with Santino Marella being her father. So I'm sure he's got a good relationship with Triple H and stuff. So unless he doesn't, then she's screwed. But anyway, it's main event time as Dante Chin now comes out from Singapore with a great entrance. He's got a great look, great entrance, and he's been improving at his promos and in-ring, but still kind of a lot of striking, not a lot of moves. So, but I think he could definitely keep working and get all the way to the main roster. Dante Chin has potentially millions and millions of Singaporean fans. So eventually we might see Dante Chin getting all the way to the main roster. He just keeps needing to make strides to get better. So his opponent's going to be Xyon Quinn. Remember, these guys had a big rivalry many months ago on NXT television. Now they're both relegated to level up. So they're going to have a chip on their shoulder. And also remember that rivalry from earlier in the year. So Xyon Quinn, he's got the look, he's got the promos, the charisma, but the in-ring work has been lacking. Unfortunately, that's got Xyon demoted back to level up after losing a ton of matches on national TV before that. Xyon starts the match nicely, hitting snake eyes in the corner, but Dante, it's a huge lariat and a flurry of corner attacks here. Xyon counters the next attack with a nice looking backbreaker. Then Xyon hits a striking combo in the corner, and Dante looks like he's in trouble already. Xyon is much larger and is hitting big, powerful shots. So Xyon applies a bear hug of all things and slams Dante into the corner, then hits shoulder thrusts into the corner. Dante counters the next attack with a roll-up pin for a 2 count. Xyon keeps control right after that with big strikes, and then Xyon hits another shot to the back of the head and another bear hug. Yawn. Wow, Xyon doesn't have many better moves than bear hugs. 2 bear hugs in the same match. That is a problem. Xyon Quinn is not progressing in the ring. Dante now counters the next attack and trips Xyon, buying himself some time to recover. Dante then hits a flurry of strikes and a massive looking lariat. That one would have made JBL proud. Dante hits a pump kick to the face for a 2 count. Dante hits some more punches, and these guys just do not know how to do moves, do they? It's just striking in this match. Dante blocks another attack, but Xyon counters in a really best move of the night right here, a rolling Samoan drop. I don't know what else to call it. That move is awesome from Xyon Quinn. Xyon then hits the Superman punch and gets the 1-2-3. The winner of this match by pinfall, Xyon Quinn. So maybe I just a little bit overestimated the in-ring improvements from Dante Chin. It didn't really hit anything noteworthy. A lot of good strikes. I mean, that lariat was awesome, but you do need more than strikes, or you're just going to turn into Alexa Bliss. Look at Alexa Bliss in that. She just does strikes. She's got a DDT and a forearm as her finishing and setup move. I mean, the Twisted Bliss is fine, but they let Alexa Bliss go by without learning to wrestle for year upon year and upon year, and now she's just there as a veteran who never learned to wrestle. So we do not need any more people like that ever in WWE. So anyway, hopefully these guys can improve. Xyon had a great looking, and he wasn't his finisher, but it should be his finisher. That twisting Samoan drop was awesome. So definitely, I would say drop the Superman punch. You're only going to get compared the Roman Reigns, which he already kind of similar to Roman Reigns. He's got the big look, the big tribal tattoos, the cool hair, the cool charisma. So you do not want to, he's kind of pigeonholing, especially if you're going to use the Superman punch, you're going to be pigeonholed as a second rate, the dollar store, the Wish version of Roman Reigns. You do not want that tag. So both these guys need to do a little bit of work. Little bit of a disappointing episode of Level Up this week, but nothing was ever going to top last week's amazing episode that had Nathan Frazier against Ikemen Jiro, probably the best ever Level Up match of all time. So if you did not see last week's Nathan Frazier Ikemen Jiro match, definitely go check that out. You're going to love it. my match of the night by far. That first match, I did like the match between Duke Hudson and Myles Borne. Both looked great in that match, but it was all downhill from there. Xyon, Xyon, Quinn, and Dante all lack moves, and they rely on strikes and roll-ups way too much. So they definitely need to improve a lot more, or they're just going to get quickly passed by like the next recruits are going to come in and just quickly pass them by, and then they're going to be like number 40 or 50 on the depth chart. There's a lot of people in NXT, and like I said at the start of this review, NXT UK just brought in all the NXT UK All-Stars. They might go up to the main roster soon, but you never know. They might stay in NXT for a little while they wait to see if NXT Europe comes back. So, or whenever it does. Anyway, not a great episode of Level Up. Definitely go check out the the Duke Hudson Myles Borne match. And if you didn't see Ikemen Jiro and Nathan Frazier from last week, go check that out. But we're only a couple days away now. Worlds collide this Sunday. NXT UK against NXT 2.0. All the NXT UK titles will be unified. NXT UK is gone, and now we'll have some really good matches. I'm looking forward to that. So definitely come check out on Sunday afternoon. I will be reviewing Worlds Collide NXT versus NXT UK. NXT UK's last stand before they're gone forever. Basically a celebration and tribute of their life. Kind of a funeral, but more of a celebration of life type deal. So I'll be here for that. Thanks for tuning in. Enjoy your Labor Day weekend, and I'll talk to you again soon.